Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that little start to the video. We've been getting some work done over there at the base, but there's something I wanted to address before we go look at that. So as I've been kind of coming in and out of my base to get items and whatnot and build this thing, I've realized that every time I walk in and out of this door, I'm just walking straight through, and that's because there's no door. So I was coming up here and I was walking around and I was like, wait a second, something's off. And it's because there's no door. And then I came in here and I walked around this corner and I realized there's no door there either. So I'm missing a couple doors. The first thing I have to do, obviously, is fix this because there's a terrible draft coming through here. And so I'm going to put this door back and I'm going to put the other door back. I've checked all the other ones. It looks like those are the only two that are gone. But that one's good. The front door's fine. Nothing else over here is missing. But I'm a little suspicious that there might be something going on here. So I'm going to keep my eye out. Maybe it's just a glitch or something. I don't know. Or maybe someone's messing with me. Which very well could be the case. But door issues aside, it's time to go look at the progress that we've made over there. Okay, so I think the first thing we're going to do is look at the back here. And in this area, like I said, I was going to add a little bit of foliage. Some leaves, and so we've got these bushes kind of coming around through this little gravel bed right here is what this is supposed to be, which I think actually works out pretty good. And then over here I've got a couple planters just kind of in the back. This will all make a lot more sense once I start putting the actual building in, but for now it's just these planters in the back with some weeds kind of growing out of them. Controlled greenery back here. But there's not a whole lot to see back here, just kind of keeping it clean, keeping it nice. In the front is where the real progress has been made. So let's go over to the front. And here is the front. You can see I had a little run-in with some fellas that were passing through here causing trouble. But that aside, let's take a look at the front of this building. So you can see I've added a couple different pathways kind of coming in from the sidewalk and coming in from all the different directions so that people can get to the front door. Essentially, the front door is going to be right up here past this little planter, and there's going to be a pretty big door right here. So that's where the front's going to be. And then all this down here is just some pathways and stuff like this. I can't take 100% credit for the layout of these because I do have to tell you guys, this building, this whole base is based off of a building in real life. And so this is what the architect chose to do in the front of that building, and I'll show you guys a little bit about that later, and I'll talk a little bit more about, what that building is and what it means to me and why I'm using it as my base. But essentially that's the idea, is that this is the front and it kind of is like a grand, huge, big entrance to this building that's going to be going in the back here. So hopefully you guys like how that's coming along. So this is a pretty big build, so I still have a lot of resource gathering to do to be able to make this happen right now. So what I'm going to do is, in the meantime, go over and we're going to work on covering this up because it's pretty ugly just sitting there right now. It's creating, some honey for us, but it's ugly. I mean, if we're going to be honest, it's really ugly. Okay, so I'm worked out a little bit of a shape here. I want to try to do like one of these like sweeping sort of curvy roof things on the left side here. So that's what that's going to be. And then I also want to just sort of snug this up into the mountain a little bit, so it kind of is like part of the mountain and then just kind of sticking out. Because like I think it kind of has that mountain vibe with like the river coming by it and everything, and then this big mountain next to it. So I got to figure out what I'm going to actually use for the palette here. I have an idea for the roof, but I'm not really sure about the walls. I know it looks a little bit chaotic right now, but stick with me because I think this is going to turn out good. I just got to get a little bit more work into it. And we'll come back and I'll show you what I have. All right, I've made a little progress here. So I got the walls up. I'm going with this color palette of sort of a gray to white color scale. And we're starting with, I'm doing the same thing I did on that other building. We're starting with sort of the darker colors down in the corners with the cobblestone and the diorite, and then working our way up to, that's actually snow in a couple spots in here, and just having that gradient right there. We're using some wool, and then also a little bit of the powdered, powdered sugar, concrete powder to transition from the dark to the light. But this is just kind of a start, just to get sort of the colors down. What I'm going to do next is get the roof in, and then we'll have kind of the full ensemble of the color palette, and then we'll go back through and do all the details and stuff. So let's get the roof in and I'll be right back. All right, so the colors are now in. This is kind of a little bit of a different color palette. Get some bright colors back in here and just kind of make it pop. I don't know. I really like it. I think it's looking good. I am going to go free cam real quick and show you guys kind of the full ensemble here of the shape and the colors in this thing. So you can see we kind of went with this red to yellow hue just because, you know, honey. And I think this works out really pretty good. I mean, we've got, it's kind of the dark orange all the way up. We're using, this is actually red sandstone to kind of transition in between here. And then obviously some honeycomb. I do have a little bit more walls to kind of finish out. I'm going to put a wall there. I got to fix that. But other than that, I think it's looking pretty good. The next thing I want to do is go in and start detailing it, throwing in some more windows, doors, just making these walls look not so plain. And then it'll be done. But before we go in and do that, I'm gonna roll a little bit of footage here to just break up all the building. And this is going to be me and Shorty going down into the caves and checking out an ancient city. So enjoy this footage, and when we get back, we will have this thing detailed out and ready to go. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. There's a lush cave under that tree.
I don't know where I'm going.
Do you have a boat?
No.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
No, wait, were you gonna leave?
No.
Because I didn't have a boat?
I would never do that.
Fire.
Oh. What was
I
that?
almost died. I just we got
Splat. We get like almost there. We're like 200 blocks away. Here, you can be on torch duty.
Okay.
Torch! Thank you. Torch! Thank you. Torch! Torch! Diamonds! You're doing great. Torch! Just in case.
Ah.
What? Oh! Wow! I guess we can always just dig. I don't think this is it.
No way.
What? How are you doing
That
that?
was so lucky. I
think I'm safe. Good. Oh, 2 notch apples. Oh! Swift Sneak 3.
Density 5. What?
Ooh! Silk Touch and Swift Sneak 3. Let's go! Oh. I just ate. Here, how much time? Minute. Oh. Oh. Yep. Evacuate. Evacuate. Oh, yep. It was a channeling. It was channeling. I got a Swift Sneak 3. You got a Swift Sneak 3. Okay, here we go.
Heck yeah.
Woo! Okay, final numbers. Stacking 23.
Whoa.
Okay, we did it.
Oh, thank God.
Success. Are you ready? Boom. And there it is. So I wanted to start out here and kind of get the view from spawn and from walking up. So this is what it looks like. You can see we've got that crazy roof kind of thing on top. I really tried to sort of step into the hive like feeling with this building, so I was trying to really stay on theme here with the fact that it's a honey farm, and so there's a bunch of beehives and stuff. So you can see we've got this little window up top that's just like a little circular window that just kind of presents like, oh yeah, this is a beehive building. So I don't know, I think that does a really good job of doing that. And as we get a little closer, you can see I added some just details under the roof lines, and then a couple windows here and there. All of those just have honeycomb behind them, which I thought was kind of cool. Makes it look a little homey in there, like maybe there's some warm lighting going on inside. Also, it's honey, so you know it fits the build. Over on the right side here, I tried to get this little window thing to work over here, but I just couldn't really get it to work out. So instead, what I did is I kind of dotted around some little windows, just sort of randomly, just because it kind of reminds me of like how a beehive would actually look in real life, maybe. So that's what I went with on that side. And then over here, there's also just another little window with another little gable on the side. I do want to do a little walkthrough just around the back here, because I really just want to show you guys how this roof turned out. I'm really excited about the roof. I think that might be actually my favorite part about this entire build. But that's kind of how the back turned out. We've got that same roof kind of going all the way around, and then in sort of another sweeping roof on this other side here. And then I also, you know, added some little details down below just to make it feel a little bit more homey and a little bit more integrated into the landscape. So that's about it. If we go up, and I'll show you guys the inside, there's really not much to see in here. I don't really think I'm going to do anything with the inside. Honestly, this building is just mainly for this farm, just for function. So it was just to kind of cover this up so that this wasn't just poking out randomly. But I think this turned out good. I really like how also it kind of fits into the landscape here. It almost looks like a little castle on the hill type vibes. Going, you know, we got the river, the creek coming by it there, and you got the big mountain up behind it. I don't know, I think it looks really good. So I'm happy with this one, and we're gonna call that good and move on. So with the end of that build up there, I think the next thing I'm going to do is actually the mega base. But I can't do that just yet, because this is a really big area and this is a really big build. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of resource gathering. So for the rest of this episode, what I'm going to do is go out, get some resources, and get ready to build this whole thing right here. I think the best way to do this would just be a little bit of a time lapse, and you guys can sit back, enjoy that, and get ready, because coming up soon, we're going to be putting this thing together. Another thing I wanted to mention is that we did actually do a little trip to the end, so I'm going to roll some of that footage, but not in this episode. I think that'll probably be its own episode coming out relatively soon, so keep your eyes out for that. And then next time we get back to the base here and start working on building again, we will be working on the base. So with that, sit back, relax, enjoy this little time lapse, and I'll see y'all next time.